I'm the Vacuuminator.
I'm Buster.
And this week in Toku, we're going to be discussing the passing of a legend, a little whoopsie daisy I made, and Rider Jump, Rider Kick, Kamen
Rider,
Rider. Buster, what have you been up to?
Street Fighter 6. I've already sunk 20 hours into it, and the game hasn't even been out for a week.
Those are rookie numbers. You gotta pump those numbers up.
I know. I've been trying to. I've been trying to go online. Been playing this World Tour mode. Street Fighter 6 is a good game. Buy it if you're looking for new games. Just fighting games. Good ass game. Also saw we talked about this on the last modular show, but Across the Spider-Verse twice.
Go listen to this week's No Prize. It's a full Across the Spider-Verse spoiler cast. It's a good time.
Yeah, I'm in it. Like, my internet is a bit wonky in that video, but hey, I think I got some good points across. Yeah, and also we got the last thing recovering, so that's fun. But we'll get to that.
You know what? The more I think about it, I think it was actually kind of thematic that your internet kept fucking up during the Spider-Verse cast, because it was like, you're not normally on this show, you're in a dimension you're not supposed to be in, you're glitching out.
Yeah.
Hey. Ooh, yeah. I've ascribed a nice little retcon there for all of you.
Yeah. Speaking of retcons, how's your life?
Jesus fucking Christ, man. Every time, I think I have a decent schedule for a Monday, and I think I'm going to get everything done in proper order. Wrench after fucking wrench, and we somehow always end up recording this goddamn show at 8 p.m., even though I supposedly have all day free during the summer. It's not optimal.
Yeah, it happens.
Mm-hmm. But you know what is optimal?
Modular media?
Supporting Modular Media so that I have the encouragement to keep this show going no matter what wrenches get thrown my way. So, folks, if you're listening right now and you're a big fan of TWIT, don't forget to give us a like, leave a comment down below with some of your thoughts on some stuff that happened this week in Tokusatsu, subscribe and ring the bell in order to enable notifications and get every Modular Media upload delivered right to your inbox. Also, follow us on Twitter for updates. That's at the Modular Media. Join the subreddit r/Modular Media and follow us on Tumblr at Modular Media. And I keep forgetting to plug it, but follow us on TikTok. We got a TikTok. It's just at Modular Media. You get fun little clips from the show, like me screaming about the difference between Hongo and Hayato, which I'm sure will continue this episode. But before that, let's get into the news. Our top story this week, bit of an unfortunate one here, folks. Yukiko Takayama, who is the only woman to ever write a Godzilla film. Specifically, she wrote the screenplay for Terror of Mechagodzilla, passed away at 83 this last week. That's unfortunately all the details I've been able to scrounge up, but obviously it's very sad. Bit of an unsung icon here, I would say, because there's not a lot of super popular female writers in the kaiju sphere. So to lose someone like this is a bit upsetting, and hopefully we get another Godzilla film written by a lady person in the not too distant future.
Yeah, like you basically said everything I was gonna say. So.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, let's go ahead and move on from that. Let's not dwell on it. Let's get into this week's Godzilla Tat. First of all, Johnny Lightning, which is basically a more obscure brand of die-cast cars than Hot Wheels and Matchbox, but has a very rabid fan base. They're doing licensed Godzilla cars specifically, and that's the reason why I'm giving this the spotlight. They're meant to be replicas of the little model cars that Godzilla monsters stepped on. We're getting a little military Jeep and a more nice civilian red Jeep based on cars that appeared in Godzilla vs. Megalon and Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah. I think this is pretty cool. Probably a nice little opportunity for people who do figure photography or just people who are super into obscure, accurate replica stuff. But not something I'm going to be rushing out to pick up. Do you have anything to add, Buster?
No, you basically, again, you said whatever thing I get. I guess the only thing I could add is, will these even scale to the Godzilla figures that we already have? Probably. You could do some configuration.
You can probably find a Godzilla out there that these scale with.
Yeah. So.
I don't know if they scale specifically with, Monster Arts or the Super 7 Ultimates that have yet to come out, but, there's got to be something out there. There's so much fucking Godzilla merch. Speaking of which, we're getting a new Bandai Movie Monster series Mothra vinyl. It looks like Mothra.
Yep, it looks like Mothra. Looks neat.
FYE has launched a whole little subline of exclusive Godzilla collectibles. There's going to be a Burning Godzilla 1995 LED light. There is going to be Ghost Pepper Ramen, themed after Godzilla's atomic breath. There's going to be King of the Monsters Chocolate Mochi, and a Ghost Pepper half-pound chocolate bar. There's going to be bamboo chopsticks with Godzilla printed on them. There's going to be a Godzilla party paper plate and cup set. There's going to be a t-shirt, which looks all right. There's going to be a special edition vinyl of the Godzilla vs. Kong soundtrack. And yeah, that's it. A bunch of shit that I will not have in my house, except maybe the mochi. That does look kind of tasty.
Yeah. Ultraman?
Yeah, Ultraman news. First up, bit of a wild card with this one. A new variant of the Guts Sparklence from Ultraman Trigger has been found. This tends to happen every once in a while. Bandai will just strike up a special deal with a random location or store in Japan to give them an exclusive color variant of a DX transformation toy. Happens a lot with Ultraman, not so much with Kamen Rider and Sentai. But this is the Hamiching Water Park version.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is more Chinese Hong Kong to my look like. This is from more Malaysia territories than like actual Japan proper.
Yeah, it's basically the same as the deluxe one you would have gotten when the show's coming out, but it's cast in like a pearlescent blue plastic, and it comes with a few vinyls. So if you're really into like obscure variants and stuff, you'll probably want to hunt this down. But as for me, I'm just like, hey, need to know that exists. Yeah. Also, a thing that's neat to know it exists. There's going to be another Ultraman Decker final stage show. Journey to Blazer is coming to Malaysia.
Yeah, it's gonna have Trigger, Dinas, Decker, and Blazer will somehow be involved.
He's gonna get like a new Rider in a Rider movie cameo, I bet.
Yeah, which is pretty cool that Ultraman's doing really well in other Asian territories outside of Japan. That it can warrant this kind of stuff.
Yeah, hopefully this is good. Hopefully it gets out there somewhere for the people who want to see it. But I'm not super into stage shows, so I don't know if I'll ever check it out unless we find out 8 episodes into Blazer that there was a really important plot point they seeded in this stage show.
I doubt it because Blazer's trying to be standalone, so we'll see.
Oh yeah. But speaking of other standalone things, we have new Shin Ultraman merch. There's going to be a premium Bandai Shin Mefilas light.
Okay.
Anyway, we have confirmation of who is going to be performing the Ultraman Blazer opening. It is going to be performed by Hiroshi Kitadama and Minda Rin? Is that how you pronounce that?
Minda.
I've never heard of these people, but
she's a Thai YouTuber singer who got signed with. She's done openings for Time I've Got Reincarnated as a Slime and other anime, and then Hiroshi Kanadi. I don't know how to say his last name, but he's worked with Jam Project on stuff like the One Punch Man opening, a bunch of Getter Robo songs. So he knows how to bring the hype.
Okay, so these are just people Bandai has on tap, right?
Yeah, or just
and it went, you will sound good singing these lyrics.
Yeah, or just singers that Ultraman fans or anime fans would like. So.
Yeah. Hopefully the song's good. I always love a good banger opening to a tokusatsu. And is it am I crazy, or is this the first time we've seen a English romanized version of the logo?
No, we've seen it before.
Okay. This is just the first time I noticed it and went, whoa, that's really slick.
Yeah, it's one of the best English logos they've done, honestly.
Yeah. All right, well, let's move on to Rider news now, where in a shocking turn of events, the night before Shin Kamen Rider came out, and I'm going to just go over to another folder real quick, Team Rider retweeted the Fathom Events announcement of additional screenings. And then the next day, they quote retweeted the fact that it was going to be in theaters that night. So, thanks, guys. It's the bare fucking minimum. I'm so proud of you, you jackasses.
Yeah, they waited to the last minute. They didn't try to build hype. Also
I know there's probably no one out there like this, but if Team Rider was the only Rider account you were following and you saw this, oh my god, can you imagine having to drop everything to go see Shin that night? Or go.
Also, the trailer they quote retweeted is full of spoilers, so I'm like,
yeah, well, that's more Fathom Events' fault.
Yeah, or the freaking Toei. I mean, Toei's already spoiled shit, but whatever.
Mm-hmm. Hey, let's move on to some people who are doing a good job with Western releases, because Discotech has put up the pre-order for the Kamen Rider Black RX Blu-ray. Not a lot of information we didn't already have. Just, hey, we now know the price. It's going to be $55.97 if you order it through their store.
Same as the Black Blu-ray, and it will be shipping on August 29th, though Discotech does have a tendency to ship early, so, just get it in now so you can get it, at beginning of August, probably.
Yeah, get if you really want to see Black RX and you haven't already, go ahead, get your pre-order and get hype. It's an okay show. I don't think it's as much of a mess as a lot of people say it is, but it's also not great. It pales in comparison to its predecessor. But, it's worth a look if you really want.
Yeah, and also the Blu-ray will have a lot of extras and essays, so that's cool.
Yeah, but that's all for classic releases. Let's get into some new stuff, like tons of new Geats tat at the Kamen Rider store. You like fridge magnets? Great, they got those. You like fans? Great, they got those. You like tags? They got those. You like wall scrolls? You like tins? All that fucking shit. It's at the Rider store. Go to Japan and shop around and shove money directly into Bandai and Toei's gaping maw. Anyway, let's move on to things I actually care about, like action figures. We have the photos for Kamen Rider Geats Sodo ID6, which is going to be a big set in their do-it-yourself figure line of a lot of forms they hadn't gotten to yet. Specifically, there's going to be entry forms for a lot of the one-and-done arc riders. You're going to get Geats is using the movie buckle form. You're going to get Glazer or Gazer and Vision. You're going to get Buffa using Twin Command, and you're going to get Jamato Buffa, and that's his friend as a Jamato, right? The other one?
I think there's a regular Jamato rider.
Oh, okay. But yeah, a lot of shit in this set. Probably going to be a very expense P Bandai thing. I don't see pricing info here, and I'm not going to go digging because we're running late tonight. Oh yeah. Let's get into this shit. Kamen Rider Geats Revolve Change Dynamite Boost has been solicited as a premium Bandai exclusive.
Yeah, the Revolve Change, which is supposed to be the retail line.
The second year in a row they've done this with a final form. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I mean, it looks great. It actually looks really good for a toy in this line. I love that it can do the little, Digimon totem form that it does right at the beginning of the transformation. But, premium Bandai, goddammit.
Yeah, it's not optimal.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's move on to Sentai news. Because, hey,
stuff.
A big old Donbrothers exhibition is at the HMV and Books Hall in Japan, which is like a big place where they do little museum style exhibits for recent popular things and sell stuff. And there's some photos of it. You can see they have all the suits on display, including accurately scaled versions of Kiji and Inu, who Kiji is so tall he has to be bowing. And also Kiji's actor, Ino's actor, and Inoue himself have gone to visit.
Yeah, it's really cute. Also, Zenkaiser Black's on display too.
Oh, I completely forgot about that. Good shout.
Yeah.
But yeah, looks fun. Wish I could go. Probably never will.
Yeah.
Now on to
the correction.
Little whoopsie daisy I made. So Last week we talked about the announcement of SH Figuarts King-Ohger, and I said that it was going to have a plastic shoulder cape, and I was really annoyed about that. And while I was at Shin Kamen Rider this last week, I was talking about that with Toku Chris. I was like, "You're really gonna get that thing? It doesn't look finished. I hate that they're going back to plastic capes." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" And I'm like, "Look at the pictures, dude. It's plastic." And he's like, "Did you not read the Japanese description?" And I was like, "No. I look at pictures and I look at prices. That's what being a toy collector has trained me to do." And he's like, "Dude, it says in the Japanese description it's going to be a soft goods cape." I'm like, "Son of a bitch, thank you for telling me. Now I feel like an asshole and I have to make a correction." So there's your correction, everybody. If you really want a highly articulated, highly detailed figure of King-Ohger, and the SH Figuarts looked interesting to you, but for some reason you listened to me talking about how there's no cloth cape and you got all upset and said, "Oh, I'm not buying it," then you can buy it now. You can go ahead and just like get your wallet out and throw it right at John Bandai.
Well, thanks, Vac. I needed more ways to waste money.
Yeah, sorry. If it helps, I'm a little tempted now too.
God damn it.
Speaking of tempting things, there's more King-Ohger character plushes on the way. You're going to get a new style of the whole main cast, as well as Jeremy in his ranger form, and you're going to get versions of them where they're wearing their ranger suits like their little pajama costumes, and that's freaking adorable.
Yeah, I think that's an add-on to the thing. Like
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay, I just translated the tweet. You're definitely right about that. But yeah, these look super cute. Oh, how I would love to get that Himeno. Not sure if I ever will, though.
Taka does sell all the plushies. So.
He does, but plushies are always so low on my priorities list that by the time I see them, they're sold out usually, or I don't have money when they go in stock. So
gotcha.
We'll see how that pans out. Maybe I'll finally cave and get a Sentai plushie because it's Himeno. But anyways, moving on to more King-Ohger merch. There's going to be a King-Ohger Yudo set of the cockpit apparatuses. It's going to be a premium Bandai exclusive, but you're going to get a full set, one for each ranger, customized to their look in the show, and it looks fully articulated, a lot of ball joints involved, but looks very accurate. Even comes with some new hands for the rangers themselves, yeah, looks like a pretty solid set. It's going to be shipping out in October. It's going to be 1,100 yen, which I'm translating right now is $79 in USD. So if you're a Yudo maniac or you really like these King-Ohger things, this is probably the best you're going to get as far as a toy of these mecha control apparatuses. So I would say jump on it, even though that price is a little bit yikes. Yeah. More King-Ohger merch, because Secret of King Recules Episode 2 came out this week, and we will be talking about it later. We finally got the official announcement of DX King-Ohger Zero, which is just a black and gold repaint of King-Ohger. It's a premium Bandai exclusive, very much only for people who are just super into this aesthetic, or if you're like a simp for Recules. But if you are, I'm just going to be honest with you folks. Stop it. Get some help.
Yeah, basically my thoughts too. Just get help. Get bitches.
No, don't get bitches.
Okay. Well, like, get bitches instead of Recules. That's what I meant.
I want to make that the episode name now.
That's a very wordy name. Anyway, so remember the Mofun anime that Rita likes, and that's kind of a key part?
Yeah, and they showed some clips of it in this week's episode. Apparently they just they made a full episode for those clips, and they put the full episode on Toei Tokusatsu Fan Club.
Yeah.
So hopefully this gets subbed. I would actually be kind of... It did?
Yeah, but like, I wasn't sure if we should cover it because it's a cartoon, but like, I don't know.
We don't have to cover it, but I would like to check it out. So Is it listed as a King-Ohger thing, or do I have to search Mothra?
It's listed as a King-Ohger thing. So,
okay, I'll look it up after the show then, because I would like to give that a watch, just for greater context of the world, if anything else.
Yeah.
Anyways, that is all for Sentai news. We're gonna move into Power Rangers news.
And this is the wrong link.
What the fuck? Okay, let me go into my likes and dig out the proper link. I'm sorry. But basically, somebody was out in the wild shopping around looking for figures today, and they found a packaging variant for the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Beast Morphers Yellow. What sort of packaging variant? It's a slightly darker yellow. That's all. Just like the next production run, they made the box slightly darker for some reason.
Okay.
It's going to be, for people who are like OCD completionists, that is going to bug the shit out of them until they have both versions. And I feel very bad for those people, because Beast Morphers Yellow is one of the figures that had a lot of QC issues. Although, now that I think about it, now that I say that, and now that I can't find this fucking link anymore, I'm going to have to go to Josh's Twitter to look for it, because I know he retweeted it. But now that I think about it, that might actually be a good thing, because if they fix the QC issues for the second production run, might be a good way to tell. Yeah, okay, here's the link. And I'll just put it in the chat for you, Buster, so you can get a quick look at it. This might be a good way to tell if you have one that will definitely have QC issues or not. I'm not sure which is which, though.
I don't know, I kind of hope they do like a reprint of like, here's a Beast Morphers 3-pack, or maybe a 5-pack with silver. I don't know.
That would be solid. The only two I have right now are Red and Blaze, so I wouldn't mind buying like a full team pack if they did that, and like I'll resell my Red. Yeah, that's all there is to say about that. We actually spent way too long on that. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
But we're going to stick in Lightning Collection news for a little while, because there's a bunch of little weird, goofy Lightning Collection things, because it wouldn't be a week of Tokusatsu news without it. The same guy who leaked the existence of remastered Black and Red and Rita has leaked official photos of the box and full accessory layout for remastered Black, and now we can see that like it definitely comes with the full suite of accessories you would expect. There's a power axe, there's a morpher, there's all free modes for the blade blaster, and he's getting a purple version of the same blast effect that they're all getting. He comes with all the same hands. Looks solid. I've seen some people saying this unmorphed head really doesn't look like Walter Jones. I can see what they're going for, but yeah, it is fairly off. Like in the eye especially, I'm like, that doesn't look like Walter to me, but it's still a solid upgrade to the original. I'd say I'd be kind of tempted to pre-order it if they were doing pre-orders for it somewhere, because this still isn't up for pre-order anywhere. As far as we know, it's just going to ship in a replenishment case with new editions of blue and yellow. So we may not even get pre-orders for it. It may just be one of those things that randomly turns up in stores one day. I'll keep you posted, listeners. Just like I'll keep you posted on the fact that several Chinese fans got a hold of the rest of the remastered figures somehow and posted full in-hand shots. And I love that they did this so hastily that they didn't even bother to take the dragon shield off Jason. There's just like Tommy awkwardly in the back without his shield, and it's kind of cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, for what they are, they look really solid. They look like a decent upgrade to the originals. I think all of the unmorphed heads, except for Zack, look really good. I do really wish we got a new Jason head, but we've been over this before. It looks like a solid team of Rangers if you just want a team of MMPR Rangers to put on your shelf or for figure photography purposes, but it is not the be-all end-all because of the Red Ranger, Green Ranger BS. And that is pretty much my opinion on those, and I don't think it's going to change anytime soon. Anyway, let's move on to something completely stupid. So, the saga of Invisible Phantom Ranger in the Lightning Collection has finally concluded, because randomly on, what was this? This was Friday morning, Hasbro Pulse just posted And I'm going to read this verbatim because it's full of errors. The Power Rangers Lightning Collection Invisible Ranger from Power Rangers in Space is now available exclusively at Walgreens with limited quantities available on Hasbro Pulse. Pulse Premium members can shop now with remaining quantities available to all fans at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay, few things here. Number one, this isn't from In Space. This is from Turbo. It says on the box from Turbo. You guys made the correction, and yet the social media person still made this screw up. What the hell? Second of all, I thought the fucking Walgreens deal was over. We had reports from reliable sources that the whole reason there even were Hasbro Walgreens exclusives was because there was a guy who worked at Walgreens who thought that was a really good idea for them and kept pushing for it, and he's gone from Walgreens now. So is this just the last one? Like it was always meant to be a Walgreens exclusive and it just took forever to make it happen? Also, why did it never actually go up on Walgreens? It was never listed on Walgreens, even now. And like, it could be buried somewhere in like the code of that website. But Walgreens' website is a fucking nightmare to navigate, so nobody's ever going to find it even if it is available there. And finally, they may have only put limited quantities up on Pulse, but I am checking right now, and I'm fairly certain because I did look yesterday as well. Give me 1 second here. Yeah, it's still in stock. Because this is a weird variant that only certain people are going to want. I'll admit, I did consider, because it just went in stock. You can just order it right now and it'll ship right to you. I have thought a couple of times, maybe I should just go ahead and buy two, one for figure photography purposes, one to get Jake to sign. But you know, there's a lot. I'm still waiting for Dino Thunder Black to go in stock somewhere, because I missed it when it went in stock on Pulse.
God damn it.
And there's a bunch of G.I. Joe stuff that's going to be shipping at some point this month that I'm keeping money back for. So if it's still there at the end of the month, maybe. I mean, like, anything's fucking possible, I guess. But right now, not a super high priority for me. And just a fucking weird, lazy-ass release. What the hell? Anyway.
It feels like a quota release. Like, oh, we need to reach X amount of figures this week.
Fucking Emily is just walking around in a polo and a pair of sunglasses with a big gulp like she's the manager of a car dealership. Gotta hit that quota!
Yeah, basically. Anyway, something that actually looks interesting.
Yeah, we have another leaked image of the Lightning Collection Red Omega Ranger, because apparently it was bought by somebody in the fandom. Elusive and Exclusive on Instagram posted this photo, and they haven't said that they're the one who bought it, but they're the first one to post this photo, so I wouldn't be surprised if they are the one who did. This image is a little crisper, a little cleaner. You can see sort of more of the parts separation going on here, like the two shoulder pads are clearly separate pieces. I'd be interested to see if maybe they're like pinned in a certain way to make them get out of the way for articulation purposes. But overall, it looks like a solid sculpt. I'll be interested to see what it looks like painted, though.
Yeah, I think these are like really good figures so far. And like, hey, you know, the comics do have their fans, so I hope the people who do like those are, yeah.
Yeah, here's hoping we get an official reveal of what these are supposed to look like at some point in the next month or two. All right, now for something completely stupid. The first 5 episodes of Megaforce are available legally on the Power Rangers YouTube.
Which means Samurai is done.
Yeah, so if you really want to watch garbage, go ahead. I won't stop you.
Can I go into a side rant about like a tweet I made today?
Sure.
So I think one of the guys who runs the Ranger Wiki said like, oh, if you like the Spider-Verse like cameos, you can't like you why do you complain about the new powers in Super Megaforce? I'm like, those are
of course that was a fucking Ranger Wiki person. You put a tweet out about that and you didn't say that's who that was. It makes so much fucking sense now. The people who run the fucking Tokusatsu wikis are goddamn morons.
Yeah, I mean, they thought Poppy was stronger than Kota, but that's the least of their sins, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever looked at like the fucking Masked Rider wiki page?
No.
Oh my god, all the like instances of footage of Zio and Jay are like Dex sometimes mysteriously has this weird green form that's never properly explained and is only seen for brief instances. Perhaps it's so powerful he can only use it for brief periods of time. Maybe we'll get it explained if there's ever a Masked Rider continuation. And it's like, you poor deluded children.
Speaking of poor deluded children.
Hey, Simon Bennett posted more up-close shots of the Cosmic Fury Morpher prop. I almost said plot, excuse me.
I wish.
And yeah, this thing looks beautiful. I really like the design for this thing. I think it's going to go down as a very cool and nostalgic morpher for kids of this generation. However, for fans of this generation, well, we also got the toy. The official images of the toy and the description of it leaked, I think, thanks to an Amazon listing. And should I read the description first, or should we talk about the images first?
Let's just talk about the images. Who cares about the description? Like,
okay,
it's for kids. It's the kids line. This isn't the collector morpher. That's kind of the whole deal about it.
There is no paint on this thing. All the money is going into sculpting and lights and sounds features. And people lost their shit over that. People were like, this thing looks like cheap knockoff garbage. Hard pass for me, man. What are you doing, Hasbro? And I'm like,
none of you were gonna buy it anyway. Most of the people are saying that we're already like pretty against Cosmic Fury. I'm just gonna add, like, they're just like, I'm not gonna buy this because I'm like, I like the design, but yeah, I do agree the paint. This is the weakest Hasbro morpher, which sucks because I think all the Hasbro morphers so far have been really good. But I'm gonna skip on this. Maybe if the show, maybe it is a cool design. I just don't like the lack of paint. And like people are like, oh, it's so over, man. Like even because they leaked the Kira equivalent, like it's just like the yellow's a shark, and it's like, oh, it's so over. And I'm like, shut up!
You've done that before, like 4 or 5 times now. Calm down.
Even that Neo Saban did it, so I'm like,
and even then, like complaining about there being no paint on this fucking main children's line toy. Have you been looking at the other Hasbro main children's lines lately? I don't know why I have to constantly fucking remind people that Hasbro does more than Power Rangers, but like, look at the current toys for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 that don't say Marvel Legends at the start. Look at the current mainline Transformers Rise of the Beast toys. Not a lot of paint there, because they have to keep the costs of these things as low as possible so that parents can actually afford to buy these things for their kids. Parents who don't regularly buy like $500 worth of toys every month.
I will say, the cool thing about this morpher is there's apparently a lot of sounds, little sounds and buttons and colors.
A lot of sounds, and it apparently reacts to dialogue from the show.
Yeah, both Dino Fury and Cosmic Fury, which is neat. Mm-hmm.
Also, female Red Ranger, so they put a girl on the box. Really nice touch.
Yeah. It's fine. I'm pretty sure I'll like the show. I'm just really excited for the Kirito and the toy line. Because
personally, I think this toy looks perfectly fine. I'm not like excited for it. I'm not going to rush out to pre-order it or anything, but I think it looks perfectly serviceable. And I think in another 10 to 15 years, there's going to be a whole new crop of fans that are really nostalgic for this toy in particular. Just because it's not for you doesn't mean it's the end of the world.
Yeah. Speaking of possibly the end of the world, question? I don't know. Just people weird.
Yeah, one of the crew members for Cosmic Fury recently posted that they got a tattoo of the Power Rangers lightning bolt with some colored explosions behind it to celebrate their finishing working on the show. And they basically put some vague stuff in this tweet saying that that adventure is over and the search for a new adventure begins. And people, specifically Per Ranger, who is the quote retweet I have linked in the description, as well as all the other news links, are like, hey, does this mean there's no season for 2024?
Guys, this is the first time this guy's worked on Power Rangers, and he was probably just like here just for Cosmic Fury.
He was probably a temp hire, and also like, that's not the way production works at all, anywhere, anymore. The only way you have a steady job on a show is if you are like the show runner or you work for the company that is making the show and not the show itself. Most shows have people hired on as temps for a season or two. writers, cameramen, directors, animators, effects artists, editors, all of them work on like a season to season basis. If this guy is saying that his adventure with Power Rangers is over, it's just because he doesn't want to, like, assuming there's going to be another season, which we don't know either way. I want to remind everybody, if he's looking for new work right now, it's just because he doesn't want to wait like 4 or 5 months until they start working on the next season. Guys gotta eat.
Yeah, guys gotta eat. I gotta eat. We all gotta eat. Vax gotta eat. Everyone gotta eat.
I ate before I came on the show.
Hey, well, let's talk about some actual cool Ameritoku news or some historical footage by my good mutual of mine, Soundout12. He found he was digging through some Toy Fair footage and found some Superhuman Samurai Squad stuff.
Yeah, he found a little run through of the I'm assuming it's the Bandai booth, because there's also Skeleton Warriors footage at the start of this.
Skeleton Warriors.
Yeah, from Toy Fair 1994, there is a guy in the fucking servo suit running through what is very obvious a script and a lot of bullet points he's got to hit about each toy, and like doing little demonstrations of each of them. And I love that every time the guy that's filming this like asks the slightest off script question about one of the toys, you can tell that his mind, the presenter's mind, just completely blanks out, and he's like, I guess it does this too. There's that. Is that what you were asking about?
But it's still super cool to find this stuff, especially as someone who, like, I don't think Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad is like a great show, but it's really like a fun one to think about and stuff.
Yeah. Seeing all these old vintage toys when they're shiny and new and being shown off for the first time is a bit of a trip.
Yeah. I mean, I do have, I think, an old Superhuman Samurai Servo with like a bunch of his mechs, because I got it at like an old retro store. So it's like, that's nice. Yeah. I haven't taken many pictures of it like since I got it, but I should.
I was actually pretty impressed by the weapon toys they showed off, because like this is from that era where Bandai was really like jamming on mechanical changing weapon gimmicks, and like that sword and shield thing that Servo has in the show. I had no idea the toy could do all that stuff and do it so smoothly. At least the way the guy was showing it off, it looked really cool.
Anyway, new releases?
Yeah, that's all for the news. So Buster, take us on to the new releases.
Okay, we're starting with the weirdest one. Jiraiya's Episode 5, The Mystery Man Who Isn't Seen. So Vac, how confused were you at this episode?
I literally spent 5 minutes before they had a shot where the eyes were turned on, going, oh my god, did Masahiro Inoue steal the Yabai common suit?
Okay, apparently the Secret Society of... Okay, Dogengers, local heroes, they can do whatever. So I guess Masahiro Inoue was like, hey, the Secret Society of Darkness, want to appear in my show? And so Yabai Kamen and a couple of the mooks are in Jiraiya's now, which I guess makes up for no Dogengers this week.
They're in a new world where the main character girl can't see for some reason, and she's befriended by a couple wolf furries. And apparently Yabai Kamen's got a big fucking problem with them, and that's the whole plot of the episode.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I got like really cool news I'll talk about later.
Oh, okay. It's fucking a trip and a half, this episode, man.
I mean,
it's
I feel
not bad, but it's just like, what is going on?
Yeah, it's weird. I like those characters from Dogengers, and just like they do play them really well here. And it's just are we gonna get other local heroes showing up? I don't know. Is this just a special cameo shit? I don't know.
Fucking Megaru shows up in the next episode, and he's
Megaru's like for Dogengers. He isn't like a proper local hero like Yabai Kamen.
Okay.
Yabai Kamen's more of a local villain, but that's a whole thing. But yeah, it was a fine episode. Again, the show is getting slowly better and better as it goes on, which is like
it might actually be good by the time it's over.
Yeah, again, it might be a 7 out of 10, but all right, it's a final form week because it's Kamen Rider Geats episode 38, Yearning F, the White Fox with 9 Tails. What did you think?
The Naruto vibes are off the chart, man.
Yeah.
Also, this episode is just generally insane in how stylish it is, how on point the directing is, and how much like crazy third act twist stuff happens in this episode. This almost feels like it would be a series finale in a Heisei show, but we've still got like 9 episodes left of this shit.
And lots of character arcs to wrap up. Because everyone was like, wait, is that the end of the show? And I'm like, Kayla still has to do stuff. Neon still.
Kamen Rider Charge's going to start next week without having revealed any of the suits.
Yeah. But yeah, I really like this episode. I think it was really well directed. And I like when Geats confronted himself. Like, initially, that was really cool. I think
big Naruto vibes.
Yeah, I think my big issue with this episode, honestly, because I was like, I feel like that was cool, but I feel like it's missing something. And I guess that, like, Niram didn't get to be Gazer at the end? I don't know.
And Niram gets mooked pretty hard.
Yeah, and, like, he has his flowers, so it's like, we'll see him in specials now. So,
But hey, we might get a female Gazer next arc.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Her secretary. And I never really got what Niram was about, honestly. Like, they never really, like, just said what he is, honestly. Like, I am all usually for interpretation, but it feels like they were building to something with Niram that they just kind of, like, forgot. I don't know.
I think it's more just like a play. His character's meant to just be an elaboration on the general themes of the show of, like, I'll do anything in service of this terrible thing as long as it feels real and right to me.
Yeah.
And like right when they go, yeah, we're just gonna hard reset a bunch of shit. He's like, but that doesn't make sense. That wouldn't happen in real life. What do you do? Oh shit, I'm dead.
Yeah, I guess that works better.
An actual fucking squib in the main TV show.
What squib?
Buster, do you know what a squib is?
I forgot.
A squib is a tiny explosive they put under your shirt while making movies to show you getting a gunshot.
Oh, okay.
That's what the blood shooting out from him was. There was probably a squib next to a blood packet.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right. Sorry. Sometimes these things leave my brain. But yeah. Oh, I guess we can talk about the final form proper. First off, beautiful suit.
Yeah. Definitely best Reiwa final form. In my opinion.
Oh yeah, 100%. And like I love the Nine Tails cape. The eyes are really cool, and then the actual action scene with like Trust Last playing, that's pretty hype. That's probably the best use of the song in the show.
If this wasn't Shin Kamen Rider week, I would have used that like up close shot where he's like holding his glove up to his face and he's all like shh.
Yeah, when he shushes the theme song, that was really cool.
Yeah,
and
that would have been the thumbnail were this not Shin Kamen Rider week.
Yeah, it is. Oh man, a lot of good Kamen Rider stuff this week, but like, this is just only the tip of the iceberg of good Kamen Rider stuff. Like, kind of crazy to think. But yeah, a really solid finale. I kind of want the last arc to just be like Ace kind of guiding everyone to their endings. Like, I
somewhat get the impression that's what it's going to be from some of the announcements we've got, because there were some returning cast announcements
for the movie.
That's for the movie? I thought it was for the next arc.
No, it's for the movie.
Okay, I didn't put it in the news because I thought it was for the next arc and I didn't want spoilers for everybody.
No,
if it's for the movie, it should have been in there.
Yeah, Punk Jack, Lopo, and what was
Ginpin.
They're all
coming back for the summer movie.
Yeah, that's fun. That's like the only summer movie announcement we have so far, which is kind of strange, but hey, what you gonna do? Yeah, I kind of like the idea of just Ace kind of just be like, I'll be the god of this world, and I'll help my like the friends find their peace and wishes, which is
he goes full decade, honestly.
Yeah, like this is kind of what the ending of Decade should have been instead of just nothing.
Again, like this feels like the end of a Heisei show or like the penultimate episode, because you get one episode after this that's kind of like wrapping up everybody else's arc.
Yeah,
but no, we've got. Actually, let me check my drama list real quick.
Well, there's no, like, the thing is that we don't know when Geats will end, but we know it will end around, like, 48, 47, so...
Okay, if it's ending at 48, 47, then we've got, like, 9-8 episodes left, but my drama list does say 50 episodes, so that would mean we have 11 episodes left.
Either way, we're in the end game now, so...
Yeah, Doctor Strange just turned into dust and told Tony to wait for a signal.
Yeah. Anyway, also, that's not the only Geats thing we have to talk about this week. We have Geats Extra, Kamen Rider Punk Jack.
Which is just straight up an extra episode of the show with prequel stuff.
Yeah, it's just an extra episode, and I kind of loved it because it kind of felt like those Gaim V cinemas.
It felt like a Gaiden.
Yeah, like just a Gaiden, and it was really well produced, a lot of cool action, lots of great character work. Like, the opening scene with Punk Jack singing his insert, and like we get to see all those suits of them. That was really hype. That was a really good way to set the tone.
Also, I guess I'm just a fucking idiot because I never realized that he's literally supposed to be into punk music. For some reason, the way he dressed and acted gave me more of a metal vibe.
Yeah, you're an idiot.
But that like, does make the question: who's the better punk character that got exploration this week in releases? Is it Hario Win or is it Hobie Brown?
Death Battle. All right. Yeah. But I'm back to Punk Jack. I love that like we get to like explore like parts of his band's like relationship, where it's like, especially that the line hit me hard.
Character arc.
Yeah. It really hit me hard with the initial line of why he split up with the band, where it's like, well, we've been doing this the same time as these guys, and these guys are way more popular than us, and we're still getting nowhere. So like, like that hit a bit too close to home, man.
I was like, oh shit, that might be my future.
Yeah, that hit a bit too close to home, but hey, what you gonna do?
Like, comment, subscribe, everybody.
Yeah, yeah, but like, and then we get to like his teammate like went into the Desire Grand Prix to provide for his kid, and because like his kid was coming, because like he actually has his teammates like actually moved on. And it's like, oh, the drama, it's
and also like the whole fucking support staff thing that was really cool world building and made like. Oh, and like subtly answered a lot of questions we've had of like, oh, how was the DGP able to do this or that? Support staff just swooped in and cleaned up for them.
Yeah, they're like the Men in Black.
Also, SH Figuarts, make that fucking figure of the support staff riders. It is so easy. You already have the entry form. All you need is a new left bicep, or right bicep, excuse me, a new helmet, and a new faceplate for the belt. You can shove that out for like $40, $60 right now, and people will army build the fuck out of those.
Yeah. So I just really like this, especially like the open. They actually use Trust Last at the end, like an actual episode. That was really cool, and it's like, got me really. I kind of wish we saw this like last week, because that lay directly into 37 or 36.
Yeah, like, well, subs are a bitch sometimes.
It happens. But like,
also, this was subbed by Anonymous, and I thought it was TV Nihon. But these subs are way better than I expect from TV Nihon. So either once they went anonymous, they really leveled up their game, or somebody else is out there doing subs anonymously, and whoever you are, you're doing a good job.
Yeah, I don't think this had TV Nihon like trademarks. There wasn't really any effects when I watched it, so...
Yeah, there was some fontage to the transformation sounds, but nothing like too crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, this is a definite recommended. This is definitely like the Veil of the season. Like a very like
it's a lot tighter and a lot more fun than Veil was.
Yeah, well, Veil was supposed to be like a very like everything is hell kind of story anyway. So, and that was like 5 episodes. This is just one like extra length episode. So, yeah, King-Ohger.
King-Ohger.
Okay, also Sentai King-Ohger, episode 14, Mean and Mofun. I'm just gonna let you go off because you clearly love this one.
This was a Himeno focus episode, and they did something that I always enjoy with a character, with a superhero character, of saying these characters aren't infallible. They have weak points, and they have things that can make them fly off the handle. Honestly, this episode reminded me a lot of like the current arc that's going on in the Captain America comics, where like Cap's surrogate son has been kidnapped, and he's flying off the fucking handle trying to save him, and Sam Wilson, Captain America, is having to like pull him back and go, dude, you're going to get yourself killed and get the rest of us killed if you keep pursuing this like this. We need to be smarter about this. And this was just one of those kind of stories for Himeno, where she is just on this murderous rampage trying to find Jeremy and make him pay for the perceived crime. And meanwhile, there's a subplot of Rita figuring out, no, it wasn't Jeremy. It couldn't have been Jeremy. He was asleep the whole damn time. It was some other fucker in a spider mask.
Yeah, so just Jeremy doubles?
Maybe Jeremy has a long-lost twin.
Yeah. Also, I just love how Rita, like, to assert their point, they just openly say the Mofun cartoon is a masterpiece to like Himeno's face with just no hesitation, and like of course Gira and the rest don't judge because that's just
So did we find out before that the Muffin cartoon is from Ishibana?
Yeah, we did. It was Himeno talked about it first, and then Rita was like, "No, they can't know."
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's fine. And that led into that little cartoon. So yeah, that's cute. The action's really good in this episode. Like I like especially the Himeno like focus, especially when we get the insert song. A lot better use of the Zords or Mecha in this episode. Like fighting because I thought the last
there's a big fight that's just the CGI individual mecha fighting.
Yeah, and it's actually way better than last week. So hey, kudos. Yeah, it's pretty solid King-Ohger, I'd say. Yeah, pretty.
Also, they weren't just seeding that for later. We're about to directly deal with Kaguragi's kidnapped sister.
Yeah, that's oh boy, I'm very excited for that episode. And apparently, that's when we're gonna get the mech for Jerby. So yeah, like the full on like mecha debut, like it's not just the spider, just this robo. Anyway, let's talk about the thing that got Twittered a couple rusts. As you do, Secrets of King Hercules episode 2. Everyone is it wasn't as bad as people were saying. I'll give it that.
There's one scene that's really bad looking green screen, and I think it was fucking intentional, you morons.
Yeah, because it was just a stupid gag of jokes. It's just like they're just like a freaking Looney Tunes ass. Like, are you gonna do it? Or am I gonna do it? Are you gonna do it?
Like, it's literally just a green screen perspective gag that somebody would have been doing on YouTube 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And this is on YouTube. So why are you complaining when the rest of the episode looks fine?
Yeah, I mean, this doesn't give me as big of a headache as the last episode. So like they are clearly improving. And apparently Hercules is directed by a more newbie director. It's been directed by an assistant director, so this is clearly like the testing ground for them.
Yeah, makes sense. Like, hey, buddy, do this, and if you do a good job, maybe we'll let you direct a bunch of episodes of next year's Sentai.
Yeah. And I will say, the CGI for King-Ohger Zero, pretty good. Like, that fight was pretty cool.
Actually, that fight was great. Oh my god, I completely forgot. I really loved that fight.
Yeah. Although it does kind of confirm that, okay, in Sentai now, like, there's gonna be a couple fully CGI mechs now. Like, I don't know what, I've kind of been in copium of that for a while.
But even like, then, it was really hype CGI. Like, it was really directed. It felt very fast and high octane.
Yeah, remind me of the Donbrothers early CGI mecha fights.
That and like I was getting like later Unicron trilogy Transformers vibes. Like some of the fights in Energon and Cybertron have that kind of energy to them.
Yeah, well, of course you would like that. Yeah, but like this is my better. I like the story. The story stuff of Hercules is good. I think people need to be more like I do agree the scheduling that Toei does hinder the show's ability to look good, but I don't think it's the ugliest looking tokusatsu. You frickers need to see Evolver. That is y'all need to watch more bad shit.
Y'all motherfuckers want to come over here and watch Jiras with us every week?
I mean, Jiras isn't like the worst looking thing.
It's the worst currently running thing.
Yeah. Or do you want to watch some like old like Evolver shit? I don't know. I keep mentioning Evolver because that's legit the worst tokusatsu I've seen.
Man, have you people gone back and rewatched the Zord fights from Wild Force lately?
People like those, so I mean, most of that is just like stock footage anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, before we get into the big thing, Ultraman Regulus episode 3. I hate. Here's the problem with this show. Every time I'm getting into it, the episode ends.
Yeah. Because I thought this episode was okay. There was some cool, like, interesting, cliche and stereotypical, but, like, fun little super school stuff going on.
Yeah.
And then, like, right when there's a new cool wrinkle in the plot, it's like, all right, see you next week.
Okay.
Like, what?
This happens with, like, I've seen episode 4, because episode 4 is also up, but we'll talk about that next week, but, like, that has the same issue. Like, I get, like, invested, and then okay.
It really feels like this was made as a movie, and Tsuburaya was like, we got to release it as a miniseries online or nobody's going to watch this.
Yeah, and that's kind of what they're doing. I mean, they are doing, like, volumes of, like, here is complete arc of Regulos, but, like, no, that's still a bit weird. I don't know if it works, the pacing I don't think it even works as a movie, honestly. It's not good pacing in general.
Well, I don't know if I'd say that. Let's wait until it's all out.
Yeah, fair. I mean, I don't know. I want to like this more, but it's the most disappointing. I think this is even more disappointing than Trigger, honestly, because I
was looking forward to Trigger. This, I was like, I didn't give a fuck about this guy in Destined Crossroads, and they really acted like I was supposed to. So I'm not excited for his show.
Actually, never mind. I don't know. I want Sakamoto to do cool shit, but it just I don't know. And there was some cool action.
Yeah. Oh, the action is always really solid in this show, and like it's Sakamoto, you expect that.
Yeah, I don't like. I know some people are saying, "Oh, it feels like Sakamoto's phoning it in." With the script, yes, but he's not doing the scripting. He's just directing the action.
Sakamoto ain't a writer, folks. Sakamoto needs a good script to interpret into great action. That's how that man works.
All right, want to talk about the big one?
Finally, after 2 fucking years, we are going to talk about
Shin Kamen Rider.
Go!
Me?
Raw! Swag! Kino! 10 out of 10! 100 out of 100! A million out of a million! This movie was fucking great, and anybody who disagrees is a moron!
My friend just got out, so you know the thing I was supposed to tell you out of it? My friend just got out of it, and he loved it.
Yeah!
Yeah, and I loved it too. This is my favorite movie of the year.
I think I've given a 10 out of 10 to a couple of other things this year, but not a movie and probably not a tokusatsu. Like maybe like a few comic issues were really good so far this year, or were that fucking amazing this year. But this movie, this feels like such a perfect culmination of everything Anno's been doing with these Shin Japan Hero projects. And there is like, fuck it, I'm going to quote the bonus features for the Star Wars prequels. It is so dense. There's so much going on in every single frame of this movie.
Yeah, I really want to go see it again eventually when it comes to home video. I want to own the Blu-ray. I bet someone better get on the Blu-ray. I guess the only
Factory, where you at? Discotheque, where you at?
I guess on that note, the weird thing about our screening, they subtitled it Masked Rider instead of Kamen Rider.
My screening too, but like that's fine.
Yeah, I guess. I know, just a bit weird.
The Japanese word that sounds like common literally translate to masked. So
yeah,
it is Masked Rider. It's just in the West we think of that as a terrible 90s show.
Yeah. Anyway, man, as soon as the movie begins, like with the little like dramatic sting, and then like we see like we have that little bike chase, and then like Kongo starts fighting off the guys, and blood is splattering everywhere.
Oh my god!
That shit was so hype.
That literally felt like all the fight scenes from the first 13 episodes just cranked up to 11.
Yeah, and it's like my theater went nuts when blood was just spilling everywhere. They were like, "What the heck?"
Yeah, my theater was like cheering. They were like, "What? Here we go! Yeah!"
Yeah, and like I already saw that clip online, but seeing that in the theater is like
how heavy
insane.
Was your theater, by the way?
Oh, it was pretty heavy. Like I saw a Banjo Ryuga from Kamen Rider Build cosplayer. Shout out to him. I saw someone brought their Buffa plushie. There's a couple cynical assholes, but hey, you know.
As I said, I saw this with Toku Chris, or formerly Toku Chris. He's now Geek with Chris. And we got there a half hour before the screening, and we hung out in the lobby for a little bit before getting our concessions and going into the theater. Theater was fairly packed, but there was still like a good spacing out of each group, I think.
Yeah, I think.
And I only saw one cosplayer. There was a dude cosplaying Leon Arkland.
Yeah, from the Zero Envy Cinemas. Shout out to him.
Yeah. And the only reason I saw him is because he came up to Chris while we were just chatting in the lobby and was like, "Are you Toku Chris? Can I take a picture?"
That's great.
And there was a brief moment where I was like, "I'm the Vacuuminator. I've been promoting this movie on my YouTube channel. You don't want a picture with me?" I very quickly got over it because I'm not that much of an egotistical son of a bitch. But yeah, my audience in general was reacting really well to all the super hype moments, but there were a few of like the more insane action moments that got laughs.
Yeah, or like some people just like laughed at like Hongo standing around, and I'm like, okay.
Have you not seen an autistic person before?
Yeah, but that's pretty ableistic. No, it's fine.
Seriously though, I could see a reading of this version of Hongo as autistic.
Yeah, like oh man, the first scene where he's like opening his mask and he has the little like, eyes.
I was doing the full fanboy like, oh, they're doing it, because like that's the most realized the body horror of the original Kamen Rider has ever been.
Yeah, and they still incorporate some like cool toyetic elements with like you click some buttons on the belt to expel your energy and like stuff.
Oh my god, the fucking the like new energy source that powers Kamen Riders Anno invents for this movie is
Prana?
Yeah, it's such a cool concept, and like gives Kamen Rider something that's almost akin to the morphing grid in a fun way.
Yeah, like I know people like this feels like honestly this is the most auto to ever auto because I've seen Evangelion. I know you haven't, and like a lot of the elements in this movie I'm like that's just from
I've seen a
Evangelion.
little bit of Evangelion.
Yeah, but this is like human instrumentality with like the final villain's plan is like oh I can see the parallels there. And also the way they interpret like 70s effects, like in terms of the villain's destruction. That was really cool. That was one of my favorite
Oh
parts
my
of the
god, the
movie.
fact that they brought back the original monster dissolving effect made me so happy.
Yeah, like and the
Uh,
trench coats look so cool on the
yeah.
riders.
Oh my god, the fact that Hongo never takes off his fucking suit.
Yeah, oh man.
Man, and like a really cool thing that Chris pointed out to me as we were standing around talking in the parking lot after the movie. There's a really cool like directorial thing to this movie where like stylistically each act kind of feels like a different era of Kamen Rider. The first act is very obviously like Showa cranked up to 11, and then the second act feels kind of like early Heisei, and the third act, at least in terms of the action scenes, feels very much like early Reiwa seasons.
Oh yeah, I could 100% see like you could track this movie as the evolution of Kamen Rider.
Yeah,
Like
like
more
the
the
Hongo Hayato fight literally feels like an early 01 fight.
yeah. Or just an early even Ryuki fight. But I know you haven't seen Ryuki, so yeah. Oh man, just I don't know where to start, man. Where to start with my feelings? Because I already did a non-spoiler review, but like we're going into spoilers. So if you haven't seen it yet, tune out now.
If you if you haven't seen it, you should have tuned out like 5 minutes ago. We have been going spoiler crazy, and like
Well, that was all from the first act, so
I talked about the later acts a little bit, but like yeah, fucking the fact that they make you wait so long to even see Hayato is so cool.
yeah, like it feel like each monster was like a new episode, a new arc of this movie.
And I
Like,
would argue the episodicness of this movie actually feels more natural than Shin Ultraman. I saw some
mm,
people saying it felt more awkward to them, and I completely fucking disagree. I also completely fucking disagree with everybody that says, like, oh, you have to have read the original manga, and you have to read the prequel manga, and you have to read the fucking Japanese theater pamphlet to understand certain things in this movie. I've read the original manga. There are direct homages to it, but
but
like
it's not necessary.
yeah, I haven't read that prequel manga. I haven't read that fucking pamphlet. I feel like I completely understood this movie.
Yeah, like I 100% understood. I was like, okay, I'm willing to read the prequel manga now. I know like it's been getting translated as
I
it's been
want
coming
to
out.
read the prequel manga now.
Yeah, because it's all about the new character, which we'll get to in a bit.
Yeah, and it's not because like, oh, I want to know, I don't understand what was going on with this character. No, I just want more of this world. Like, if you seriously feel like you didn't understand the plot and the themes of this movie just from watching it, fucking skill issue.
Yeah, I mean they over explain things. I'd argue like
Because that's how Onward works. His movies are just nonstop exposition.
yeah, it's great. And it's really it's always engaging. There's like a little joke, a dry joke there. There's like the way they say words is fun. Like you
Mhm.
know, um,
Oh my god, the fucking gag where they go to the safe house and she's like, "This place sucks. It stinks in here. Get me a change of clothes, you fuckers." And then
yeah,
they come back and they're like, "A female employee picked out the clothes, so I haven't seen the underwear. There's nothing weird going on here." And she
yeah,
just looks at him like, "Why the fuck did you even need to say that?"
yeah. Speaking of Ruriko, I loved her character in the movie. She's
Yes,
basically
this
just
is
Ray from
automatically the best version of Ruriko.
Yeah, 100%. It's just Ray from Evangelion, but it's a really good take on that. And I love like you know how you said she's been silent up until that point, but that's just because she lost her friend and now she's kind of like off the shits, you know?
Yeah, she's super closed off for the first act and a half of the movie, but after they're forced to kill
B lady.
the bee lady. Okay, I couldn't remember if she was a bee or a wasp. But they
I think
kill
it
the
was
bee
Wasp or whatever.
they kill the bee lady. And actually Hongo refuses to kill her because he's like, this is Ruriko's childhood friend. She's her only friend. Doesn't matter if she's a villain. I'm not gonna kill her and make Ruriko sad. And then Yeah, I'll just say his name. Fucking Taki just walks in and guns her down.
Yeah, I will admit, I know some people found the ending reveal of Taki and Tachibana cringe. I geeked out over it. I'm like, oh, that's them.
They
Like,
did the Marvel thing better than Marvel.
yeah, because like I can see that being Taki. I can kind of see that being Tachibana. You know?
The only thing I would change is just like fucking show that female employee and say it's Mari.
I guess, but like if you want to get even nerdier, like this is a very nerdy movie already. I'm trying to think. Oh man, it's just so.
Can we talk about the fucking Scorpion Woman scene?
Oh, that was hilarious. Like I know, like
that was my favorite scene in the movie because I am 99% sure that was literally just Anno going, look at this stupid bullshit that a lot of tokusatsu does nowadays. I don't like this. You're not going to see Kamen Rider fight this lady. Fuck this.
Well, actually, no. I think she was included because she was an actress in Shin Ultraman. She was like the main lady character there.
Yeah, I recognized her.
And like Anno wanted to put her in the movie.
Thematically,
thematically, I kind of. I just think thematically, it's like look.
Like it almost felt like he was taking a pot shot at Sakamoto in a fun way.
Oh yeah, like I know you made that joke about Sakamoto. I don't think it was like about modern tokusatsu. I think it was just about look at like all these look at some of the silly villains Kamen Rider can fight on occasion because you know all the Kamen Rider has silly villains, you know. So I think it was just more of a general rather than explicit modern because you know Anno does like a couple modern shows. Yeah.
Can we talk about the Chad of the century, Hayato Ichimonji now?
Oh, I love him so much.
I want to marry him. I would go gay for Hayato. That's where I'm at now.
Yeah. Oh man, he goes so much, but he always keeps that little wink and a nod.
I love how he shows up and like they introduce him like we've made a new Kamen Rider that's evil. He was brainwashed properly and he's even more powerful than you, Hongo. And he just goes like, yeah, so I guess I'm a Kamen Rider. My job is I'm a fucking news photographer, but these guys say I'm supposed to kill you, so I guess we'll do that.
Yeah, he has so much riz that like Vac is showing in his dialogue, but yeah. He's very charismatic. I love the little thumbs up where he's like, nice. Like, after, like, Hongo's, like, does some cool shit. Also, the entire fight with him, the fight with Hongo, like, and Ichimonji is so cool. I love the punch shot where it's like both of them are revving up a punch and then they go, like, fight.
Yeah, and they do actually give him a couple little moments of pathos, but it's not overbearing like the first next version is.
Yeah, like, oh man, when, like, at the end of the movie, because spoilers, Hongo dies at the end, where, like, Ichimonji's just like, damn, like, I guess I'll keep going, like, before, like, the Taki and Tachibana give him back in the helmet.
It was a really cool, like, blend of the circumstances of the writer change in the show and the actual story of the writer change in the manga.
Yeah, because, like, there was, like, the deleted scenes we talked about, like, a few weeks ago. There was more manga accurate like stuff in those deleted scenes. Like the Shocker Rider stuff was just straight from the manga originally, but the rain was a bit too much, so they decided freaking CGI fight. And I know the CGI isn't the greatest in this movie, but it's very well done. Like in terms of its creativity. Worse. Yeah, we've seen worse like this week, and like, but yeah, like I just it's
oh my god, dude! I almost completely forgot to mention they put fucking Hiroshi Fujioka breaking his legs in the movie.
Oh yeah, with the like Hongo leg thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Hayato fucks his legs up, and at the last second before he kills him, Ruriko steps in to break Hayato's brainwashing.
Yeah, it's oh man. Oh, and then Ruriko also, like, I'm not sure if anyone will find that. Like, I didn't mind it. It worked for a character. Oh man, Ruriko's final message to Hongo.
And his reaction to it. Oh
yeah. God, and then let's talk about the new character Ichiro. Oh man, what a guy! What a guy!
I sure do like Evangelion.
Yeah, he is like the most up and. I feel like he is.
Who's the little angel guy that people joke Shinji is gay for?
Kaoru.
Yeah, he gave me big Kaoru vibes from what I know of Kaoru.
I can kind of see it, although like. And honestly, Kaoru's more of an Ichimonji type personality-wise. But, like, I do kind of see it in the hoity-toity way. Like,
and thematically.
Thematically, yeah. Like, Ichiro is kind of like the hoity-toity, like, everything, I will make everything, like, no more pain because I am smart and you are not, or some shit.
And then there's, like, a the fucking final fight between him and Hongo is
it's just
so
a pure
cool.
struggle.
I love that it actually like breaks down to just them scrumbling around on the floor, trying to like push each other over and yelling, "Nothing matters. No, everything matters, you jackass."
Yeah, and I'm like, man, I know like Hideaki Anno always does that theme, but it always gets me all the time because he always changes it up in special ways. Because
Mhm.
Shin Ultraman's about the community of humanity, well, this is more about the individual humanity of oneself. Also, the freaking like Hongo flashback of like his dad, like, oh, that's
Gave
so well
him the
shot.
whole secret origin, and it actually was cool and added pathos to his character.
Yeah, because I love this movie so much.
This is the movie of all time. We finally got it.
Well, like movie of all time is usually I'm gonna break it to you back. That refers to like in a negative sense.
I know. I don't care. I'm fucking co-opting it. It means positive now. This is the best movie ever made.
Yeah,
I
one of
I
the best
will,
movies ever made.
I will. If I was a college professor, I would be teaching this movie in my class. This is how you make a perfect like reinterpretation and culmination of the thematic ideas of an entire franchise.
Yeah, and just like I don't know, it's so the bat scenes with like the scientist bat was really
Mhm.
oh man, like and all the themes of happiness and like struggle and God.
Now this is Kamen Goddamn Rider.
Yeah, and what a perfect end to the 50th anniversary trilogy that we've like been on for like these last 2 years. Like the longest 50th anniversary I've ever been on.
It was so worth the wait.
Yeah, well, the Black Sun and this were like top tier. Futo Tante was good, but just
I'm not super into Black Sun, and I haven't seen Futo Tante, but god damn, this shit fucking rocked, bro.
yeah, it was good. I really want to see it again. Like I hope again get a home release to me soon. I want to. I mean, I don't know what to say. Just I guess talk about the other things you did besides Shin Kamen Rider. None of it will matter because
Nothing else matters. Shin Kamen Rider is the greatest film in the history of cinema. And if you think we're being hyperbolic, no fucking shit. But I love this movie. I don't care.
And I love Kamen Rider. Like, of course I was gonna love this. Like no shit, I was gonna love it. It's like the freaking Kamen Rider like is one of my favorite things, and the way they reinterpret it in this like masterful way, just I love it.
Like, here's the thing. I'm known as a tokusatsu guy, and I've kind of made my peace with that over the last couple of years. But I've always considered my main interest to be Transformers and DC Comics. There's a Transformers movie coming out later this week. There's a DC Comics movie coming out next week. I'm seeing that DC movie out of obligation. I'm excited to see the Transformers movie, but not in a like, yeah, fucking Rise of the Beast. Oh man, I can't wait. It's gonna be the best thing ever. It looks so cool. I'm excited in it, like, yeah, new Transformers movie. That'll probably be nice, but man, that's not gonna fucking top Shin Kamen Rider. There's just no way.
Yeah, it's just like I thought Across the Spider-Verse can, and it's still a really good movie, but like it didn't top like how I felt like walking out of the Shin Kamen Rider.
I have, and like just to end off in not hyperbolic territory, I will say I have two little nitpicks with this movie, or I had them coming out of the theater. I genuinely can't remember one of them. I spent the whole episode trying to jog my memory to remember it. But the main one was, I think it would have set the whole movie off really nicely if they had bookended it with recreations of both versions of the intro.
Yeah,
like,
they just did it for the promotion. Like you can find it online, but like
I know, and I've watched that over and over again since. But like, if this movie had the first thing you saw is that recreation of the original intro they did, and then like at the end when Hayato's driving off to go fight more Shocker guys, and like he's having his metaphysical conversation with Hongo's consciousness, if that right after that conversation ended, then you go into a recreation of the Hayato intro. Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, just.
But it's still a fucking phenomenal movie.
Yeah, like Shin Ultraman, I think it's like slightly better, but this is still like on par, I think.
Yeah, no, this is my favorite Shin Japan Heroes movie. Maybe my mind will change whenever I next watch Shin Ultraman and finally get around to rewatching Shin Godzilla, because I still haven't seen it since the original theater run in the West. But right now, good Christ, I love this movie. Anyway, old stuff and toys. Buster doesn't have anything this week, so I'll just say I watched more episodes of the original series, 27 through 34. It's the Hongo it's the Hayato era. And it's good. It's fun. There's some cool little plot of the week stuff. There's a really cool there's an episode where they do what I guess is just like one of my favorite classic Toku tropes of inadvertently during a fight, a kid the main character is friends with gets hurt, and then he starts blaming himself like crazy, and then the mentor comes in and goes, "Hey, you just need to get good and go beat that monster, and everything will be okay. Let's go fucking do that." I love that trope. That's one of my favorite classic Toku tropes. I loved it in Mega Ranger. I've seen it in other things, and it's been great, and it's really good when they do it here with Hayato and Tachibana and Goro. Other than that, not much else to say. I am getting very close to the return of Hongo, though, so I'm looking forward to seeing that again.
Also getting close to one of my favorite episodes.
But I also got a couple shirts this week. Well, more accurately, I got one of them a couple weeks ago, and I forgot to talk about it, so I'm just doing them both now. I finally got something I have wanted to get literally since it came out, and I've just been dragging my feet because toys are shiny, and I like shiny things, and money is, yeah. I got, because I wanted to have a Kamen Rider shirt to wear to the Shin Kamen Rider screening, I got the Team Rider Free Eras Rider shirt that has Kuga number 1 and 01 on it, and it's fine. The screen printing on it is all right. I've not had any fading or chipping yet after having worn it a few times. The fabric quality feels like a shirt I'd get from Walmart or Target. It's not really anything to write home about. However, you may recall a few weeks ago we talked about a apparel brand called Heroes and Villains getting the Godzilla license and putting up a couple shirts, including a Gigan shirt. And I went ahead and got that because I've had extra money lately. And I really like that shirt. The printing on it is really nice, really crisp. Doesn't feel like it's going to fade anytime soon. And the fabric quality, I don't know what it is, but it feels nicer than any other t-shirt I have. It is genuinely really nice feeling to wear. Whereas other shirts is just kind of a thing on top of your body. This feels pleasant to be in. And they have a lot of other licenses. So if you haven't yet, they're a little pricey compared to other licensed t-shirt places. But check out Heroes and Villains, because I really like that Gigan shirt that I got from them. It is worth a look. But that is it for this week in Toku. We've done it. We've talked about everything. Buster, why don't you tell the good people where they can check out your content?
Hey, if you liked my incomprehensible screeching about how much I love Shin Kamen Rider, I did that in a more comprehensible way on my YouTube channel, where I did a spoiler-free review analysis thingy. I also did a video on Toei Spider-Man back when I thought he was going to be in Spider-Verse. Spoiler alert, he was not. So, I mean, next time, baby. But, hey, you can also check, all the other videos and twitter.com. BusterBlue3 if you want to see more shit. I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm the Vacuuminator. I make YouTube videos about tokusatsu and other things. You can find them at the Vacuuminator on YouTube, and you can follow me on Twitter at the Vacuuminator. You can follow me on TikTok and Instagram at _Vacuuminator. You can follow me on Tumblr, thevacuuminator.tumblr.com. I got all kinds of stuff going on. I got shorts and TikToks going on. I got action figure photography. I got my regular weekly videos. All kinds of shit is constantly popping off at this point. And it's a bit of a nightmare to pull it all off, but I still do it because I love it. And I want you all to support it and make me able to do it as a full-time job. So please go check all that out, as well as supporting Buster and Modular Media in general. And folks, that is it for this week in Tokusatsu. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you back here next week for whatever happens that week in Tokusatsu.